rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Madrasatul Mumtiah's Nahwu and Sarfu class. And tonight we are on to class number 138, which is in our explanation of the book An-Nahwu al-Wadih fi Qawa'id al-Lughati al-Arabiyyah. So this is the book that we have been explaining and using for our Nahwu lessons. And tonight, inshallah, the topic we are going to is At-Ta'diyatul Fi'li bil Hamzi wa Tad'if. So if you have the book Ta'diyatul Fi'li bil Hamzi wa Tad'if. So that is our topic for tonight, inshallah. And we have written some of the examples from the book on the board. So let's go into the topic, inshallah. And we start with the Qa'ida as usual. When we do this book, we usually start with the Qa'ida, that is the principle guiding the topic. So here we have إذا زيد في أول الفعل ثلاثيه همزة. That whenever at the beginning of a fi'l thulathi we add an hamza. So we have a fi'l thulathi, which is a 3-letter verb, and then we put a hamza in front of it so that it becomes ruba'i and in the shape of af'ala. So that is the first case. Aw du'ifa thanihi. Or we take the second letter. For example, we look at this, it is a 3-letter word, and we put the ainul fa'il, we give it a shadda. So we double it. Du'ifa, we double the second letter. Ta'adda liwahidin in kana laziman. If that fa'il was lazim in the first case, then ta'adda liwahid, it will now become a muta'addi that has one maf'ulun bi. If you remember that our last few topics, we talked about the different number of maf'ul that a muta'addi verb can have. So if it was lazim and we add an hamza or a tad'if to it, it becomes a muta'addi for one maf'ulun bi. Wa ta'adda lithnaini in kana asluhu muta'addiyan liwahid. But if it was muta'addi liwahid in the first case, then after adding an hamza or tad'if to it, it now becomes muta'addi lithnain. It will now have two maf'ulun bi, that is maf'ulain. So this explanation, we are going to come down to it and use these examples to illustrate. So the first example, these examples are the cases where we add an hamza to the beginning of the fi'l thulathi. So if we are following with the book, we can see that these examples are directly from the book. So we have kharaja rajuli, the man went out. The man went out, or the man exited. So that is a fi'l lazim. As you can see, there is no maf'ulun bi. It cannot have, it does not have an object. However, when we add a hamza to it at the beginning, akhrajtu rajula, it now becomes what? It now becomes muta'addi with what? With one maf'ulun bi. We can see akhrajtu. So akhrajtu rajula, I made the man go out, or I took the man out. So that is akhraja. So from kharaja, we add an hamza to it and it becomes akhraja. Kharaja was lazim. Now akhraja is muta'addi with one maf'ulun bi. So similarly, we have jalasa za'ir. Jalasa za'ir. The farmer sat. The visitor sat. Sorry. So jalasa za'ir. The visitor sat. And the jalasa is a fi'l lazim. We can see that there is no maf'ulun bi. There is no object of the sentence. Jalasa za'iru, the man sat, the visitor sat. And now we have, when we add hamza to it at the beginning, it becomes ajlastu za'ir. I made the visitor sit, or I sat the visitor down. So now it now has one maf'ulun bi. So basically, when we add an hamza to the beginning of a fi'l lazim in thulathi, it becomes what? It becomes a fi'l ruba'i with one maf'ulun bi. Similarly, when we do tad'if, that is, we double the middle letter. For example, fariha becomes faraha. So fariha al-waladu bil ja'iza. The boy rejoiced, or the boy was happy with the prize. So فرح الولد بالجائزة. The boy was happy with the prize. However, when we now have when we do tad'if, it now has one maf'ulun bi by saying farahtul walada. I made the boy happy. Biljaiza, I made the boy happy with the prize. Similarly, we have sahulatil mas'ala. In this case, we have a fi'l thulathi and this is lazim. Sahulatil mas'ala, the issue or the question was simple. But now when we do tad'if, it now becomes a fi'l muta'addi bi maf'ulin wahid, with just one maf'ul bi. Sahaltu al mas'ala, I made the issue easy, I simplified the issue. So that is the cases where we have fi'l lazim, and then after adding hamza or tad'if, it becomes a fi'l muta'addi bi maf'ulin wahid, with one maf'ulun bi. So now let's look at the second case, as we learned in the qaida that in kana asluhu muta'addi bi maf'ulin wahid. So bi maf'ulin wahid ta'adda lithnain. So if it was having only one maf'ulun bi, and now we add an hamza or we do a tad'if, it's going to become muta'addi for two maf'ul, that's for maf'ulayn. So let's look at an example. Qara'a Aliyun al-kitaba. Ali read the book. So we can see there is one maf'ulun bi, which is al-kitaba. But now we add hamza to it at the beginning. It becomes aqra'tu Aliyan al-kitaba. I made Ali read the book. So aqra'tu Aliyan al-kitaba, I made Ali read the book. So you can now see that there are now two maf'ulun bi. One Aliyan, and the second maf'ulun bi is what? Al-kitaba. So now we can now have two maf'ulun bi after doing the hamza. Similarly, fahima Sa'idun ad-darsa. Fahima Sa'idun ad-darsa. Sa'id understood the lesson. So now we now add an hamza to it, and now it becomes it was muta'addi for one maf'ul. You can see fahima Sa'id ad-darsa. Sa'id understood the lesson. So the dars is just one maf'ul bi. But in the second case, when we now add hamza to it, it becomes afhamtu Sa'idan ad-darsa. So now our fa'il is who? Two. I is now performing the fa'il, and we now have two maf'ulun bi, Sa'idan and darsa. I made Sa'id understand the lesson. So that is when we have hamza to a fi'l muta'addi li wahid, and it now becomes muta'addi li ithnain. On the other hand, when we also add a tad'if to a fi'l that is muta'addi li wahid, like khafa rajulu zulma, the man feared oppression, the man feared wrongdoing. So that is khafa rajulu al-zulma. That is a single maf'ulun bi. But now we do tad'if, and this middle letter, which in the aslu is actually a waw and not an alif. So in the aslu it is waw, and that is why when we do tad'if it becomes khawafa. So khawaftu rajula al-zulma. So after we do tad'if, we now say that I made the man fear oppression. I made him to start fearing oppression. So that is two maf'ul, al-rajula and al-zulma. Similarly, we have hafidhul gulamu al-Qur'an. You can see there is one maf'ulun bi, and that is the aslu. It has only one maf'ulun bi. Now after we now do our tad'if, what happens? It now has two maf'ulun bi. Hafidhul gulamu al-Qur'an. The boy memorized the Quran. So, but now with our tad'if, it becomes hafadhu. The hafadhu means that what? I made him memorize. So it now has two maf'ulun bi. Hafadhul Qur'an, hafadhul gulama al-Qur'an. I made the boy, or I taught the boy to memorize the Quran. So that is example of tad'if. So basically what we have explained in this lesson is that what happens when we add an hamza or a tad'if, that is, tad'if is doubling the middle letter of a fi'l thulathi, And we said that if the fi'l was lazim in the first case, then after we do hamza, after we add a hamza or tad'if, it becomes muta'addi liwahid. And on the other hand, when it was muta'addi liwahid and we add hamza or tad'if, it becomes muta'addi lithnain. So that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.